Hello and welcome. Nope, this can't do this. This is weird. It's weird. You ever think it's weird? Alright. How I can make myself nervous just talking to literally nobody. Like in my head, I think it and it sounds perfect. And then, I just can't say it out loud to, literally no one, to a screen. I could turn the screen off. Yeah, that was a soda pop. Gotta stay hydrated while I'm doing this. I could say nothing. And in my head, I say everything. But, even just sitting here in a room, nobody, no one, turn every light off, unplug everything, obviously, except for the recording device, close my eyes, just talk. I'd still probably be nervous. I'm taking these large gaps in between what I say. Just, it makes, I don't know. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. It's crazy. Where does it go? Where does the thought go? Then I don't have. I'm sitting here, I don't have anything to think about. Just, where did all my thoughts go? Are they still there? Did they get overwritten? Did they disappear? Did they run their course? What is a thought? It is just an electrical impulse in my brain. Why do I know that? Because I've looked this up. Why? So if I shocked my brain in a certain way, could I shock myself into thinking things? Is that the basis behind shock therapy? I heard that doesn't work. I'm not gonna look it up in between. That'd be unprofessional. I'm gonna pretend I know what I'm talking about. What's the basis for any of that with my brain? I don't know. I was gonna have topics I talk about, kind of like a podcast, because I'm not that funny. Well, that's actually not true. Uh, let's restart. All right, it is 2 minutes and 20 seconds when I will restart and pretend I never talked. All right, what's up? Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Mangus, and I'm the comedian who doesn't tell any jokes. So it means I'm funny, and you're gonna come to love that about me. It's kind of like a dry comedic timing. Oh, look at that guy. We feel really sorry for him. But you'll get over it. Most people get over the whole feeling bad part soon. Um, yeah, I'm here to entertain you. Uh, I got all this fancy software and I never use it. And I think to myself, how could I give back to society? Well, I could start with some volunteer work. I already do that. Surprise. Modern day saint. Yeah, I do my part around the community, helping out the old people, carrying groceries, doing my thing. It's nothing major. I'm not saying I should get an award, but, they don't hand them out anyway, so who am I? But, yeah, I'm here to make you laugh. While I also blow your mind. So, you probably never heard of that before. And my computer's telling me we only have 347 more hours and 5 minutes left to talk, so better strap yourself in for what's that, a week? Is that a week? I don't know. We'll find that out together, guys. Is that a week? Well, it's 24 hours in a day. 24 times 7. Ooh, yeah, that's 2 weeks. Yeah, shit. We got 2 weeks. Yeah, so for the next 2 whole weeks, you are going to be taken on a journey. You're going to go to the highest peaks, the lowest valleys, and the deepest trenches. And you're going to see things you never thought possible. And then you're going to blink. And you're still going to be in your room. Because that's the power of the mind. What's up, Vsauce? It's Jason here, and I'm here to take you on a mind tour. So, let's think about this, guys. You're just listening to me talk. And it's coming in your brain. And does your brain think I'm there? I mean, I'm not there. But millions of years, the only way to hear someone talk was to speak to them. Only way. And now, past 100 years. I don't know. The phone was invented like what, 1910, something like that, before World War One. Yeah, the only way to hear someone talk before like 100 years ago, talk to them. And now I just through the phone, I feel like I lose communication. I feel like we do. Body language, that's important right now. I'm fidgeting right now because I'm nervous, like I said. But it's crazy to think that. It's crazy to think that this is how we communicate now. I've probably have met, talked to, and probably will talk to and meet some of the greatest people I'll ever know online. I can talk to anyone online. They won't respond, but you can message any celebrity probably on Twitter. Anyone. Anyone. You ever think about that? You can literally online, all right? Unless obviously you're famous, but we're not going to talk about that. Internet celebrities, you and I. We're internet celebrities in our own way. I mean, it's so easy to get caught up in someone online, and you can never meet them, never talk to them, but you think that you're their best friend. You watch every single one of their, let's say, YouTube videos, all right, and you know everything about them, and you feel a connection to them. That's what they want, because you keep watching, but they're never going to meet you. Maybe you go to a show, and they meet you, but you're never going to be like their friend. But yet some people would do anything for these people. That's a celebrity. But they're just everyday people like you and I. They're not in an industry. They don't have agents. They might get that popular, they go into TV and movies. That's common. But they started out with nothing, and how did you learn to follow them? Someone probably told you, and someone probably told them. And it probably all goes back to the one person who just clicked on whatever random thing showed up and was like, this guy's cool. I think I'll follow what he says because he says funny stuff, interesting stuff, topical stuff. Anything he says, you can follow and listen. And I think that's brilliant. I think the fact that I can go online and I can look at anything anyone has said online is amazing, because some people say some pretty helpful things. Let's take, for example, fixing a bike. Okay. How did I learn to fix I Googled it. I'm a big bike guy. Bike a lot. Washington, D.C., all the way up to Pittsburgh. I think it was about maybe 8 days. Fun trip. Before that, yeah, I couldn't ride a bike like 4 months before that. I didn't look up how to do that online. Sometimes you just gotta go with your gut feeling. No, what I did look up was how to change a tire. I didn't know how to do that. 8 days, like going 40 miles a day. It's a hybrid. Not even a dedicated mountain bike. I gotta know how to change a tire. Look it up. I just looked it up. I asked my buddy, he's a mechanic now. I said, how did you get so good with cars? He said, one day I was sitting there, and I said to myself, how does that whole car thing work? Like, an engine combusts and it makes force and it makes something move? That's crazy. And to him, that was the coolest thing. And he said he looked it up. He just said he Googled, how does an engine work? And then he looked up, okay, if an engine works, I know what it does. What does this do inside of it? He looked up, he could probably build you an engine with his eyes closed. Okay, that's a very broad term of an engine, but like a car, like a mid-sized sedan probably, I don't know, whatever most white soccer moms drive, because that's probably what he fixes the most. He has a job now that pays him money for his life. He lives his life the way he does based off like what he Google searched and what he learned entirely free online. Literally anyone can go access the internet today. It's not like you need a computer. I could walk in a library and be like, yeah, here's my library card that's free. Let me use that free computer on free internet. Now, I mean, obviously, you're not living the dream, but it is free, and it's also infinite knowledge. But what really is an infinite amount of knowledge that you can find online? I'll tell you what an infinite amount of knowledge is. Doesn't matter. Does infinity even matter? I don't think it does. I think that the amount of people on this planet could be infinite. And I wouldn't know a difference. Seven, well, some people say eight now. We're not trying to date this, so we're going to just go with anywhere between 8 to 14 for logistical marketing purposes. Anywhere from, it's a lot of people. And you're never going to meet them all. That's just impossible. So does it matter? Like, does any of that matter? How many does the number of people on this planet matter if you're never going to meet them all? Now, for people who work on large scales, it is. Me buying my groceries, I don't care about people in China. Someone running Nestle cares a lot about people in China. But it's all perspective. To me, the number of people on this planet is too big to grasp as a single person. But from a company's perspective, the number of people on this planet is not infinite. It's finite, just like their customers, which is a set number that can change. But there's only a finite amount of people that can make customers. But to me, there's not a finite amount of people I could meet or know or talk to, because that's just too unimaginably large of a number for me to even comprehend, really. So why does that make a difference? Because online, these numbers disappear. Yeah, I'm bringing it back around. These numbers disappear online. I remember thinking, wow, 100,000 views on this YouTube video. And now I'm like, oh, it doesn't have 1 million? That's crazy. So I just casually feel like 1 million people watching a video doesn't make it popular. 1 million people. That's 1 million people. There's like 11 US cities, maybe like 10, that have 1 million people in the actual city, like the actual city borough. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. That to me, what only a fraction of cities in the United States have is nothing compared to online video views. I look at music videos, and I think 100 million is like, it's a popular song, or was. Sometimes views die off. But 100 million people, that's bigger than most, I don't know if I want to say most countries, I don't want to date myself, but that's bigger than a lot of countries. That's like under a third of the population of the United States, but it's not crazy to say that. It's a lot of people, because it really is. It could be infinite to me. But when I'm online, it's a finite number. And each person who views that, they each take something away from that video. They each watch that video, and in their mind, that video, song, let's say it's a song, right? Let's say it's a song. It's a music video on YouTube. 135 million views. 135 million people watch this. 135 million different people each had an individualized experience. The creator of that video, say it's a little one-man guy making it in his garage. It's actually like a great song. He makes it in his garage. So, I mean, we never really know what the big deal about it is. We don't know how hard it was to make, but this guy spent his life on it. Let's just say it was one person. For, making this easy, one person touched 135 million people. He touched so many people that more people know him than he will ever know people in his entire life. Just from a YouTube video that he could have uploaded on like a one-off. That's insane. But to me, 100 million, I'm like, well, there's some videos that have 1 billion. That's astounding that I can just compare numbers like that when I have $5 in my pocket. That's crazy to think that this guy touched so many people, and he's never gonna truly know. You can't truly know the impact of that. You can't. It's impossible. I can never truly know the impact of To Kill a Mockingbird, because so many people have passed the 7th grade, so many people have read that book, that what would their life be like if you didn't read that book? You don't know. They don't know. But what we do know is that that book has been read so many times that it could be considered to some people an integral part of who they are. And you know what? You're going to say, well, that sounds crazy. That's crazy. No one bases their identity off To Kill a Mockingbird. Um, and I say to you, statistically, someone did. Statistically, if this gets uploaded to the internet and it is there forever, one person who will have listened to what I'm saying right now has killed somebody or will kill somebody. Just statistically, if this is uploaded to the internet. And once it's on the internet, I could never see it again, but someone will see it out there. Someone will download it, and an internet webpage it'll get archived somewhere, somehow, by some server that'll somehow get downloaded somewhere and be put in some storage unit for hundreds of years. But someone out there will listen to this. At least one person that I don't know in real life and tell to listen to this. But if they're 15 minutes in, they clearly were staying for something other than my good nature. So, yeah, that's basically the extent of the internet. It's crazy. It reaches a lot of people. And we'll never understand that because we're only humans with these soft little mushy balls in our head that get shocked a lot from electricity that comes from somewhere, somehow. And all that electricity came together so you could listen to me pause after everything I say, just like I did, because I don't know what to say, because I'm kind of mind blown right now. So, yeah, let's keep the topic rolling. I don't want to make things too different than the previous 16 minutes and 50 seconds. So let's continue on with music. Okay, music. I mean, I love it. Everyone loves it. If you say you don't love music, you're literally lying, because let's get into what is music. Okay, listen, I don't know. You don't know. And you're going to tell me, that's what's on the radio. Okay, is NPR music? And you're going to say, well, there's a cadence in the voice of the man speaking, and he does it so charmingly that everything he says is just alarming me. And it has just a rhythm to it that keeps audiences listening. Okay, well, maybe it probably does, honestly. It probably does, because he's that smooth of a talker if you're working for NPR with those $1 million microphones. And I'm using a $20 Chinese headset, so it's some more perspective for you, wrapping that back around. Doesn't matter what music is. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It doesn't. Music is a word we use as a common term because it's easy. And that is it. We don't say music because it sounds pretty, although it might to some people. Statistically, someone out there thinks it sounds pretty. But someone out there probably also thinks it sounds stupid. But no matter what, you listen to music, no matter what. It's just a given. No matter what, there is some sort of beat, some sort of cadence, some sort of lyric, some sort of poem, anything. A poem could be music. If a person read me a poem, it could be music. Not because there's instruments. Your voice is an instrument. But you didn't think about that. You didn't? You're thinking about it right now. You're thinking to myself, is my voice really an instrument? Because I sound like a prepubescent teenager. Yeah, your voice is music. You're going to say, well, it's not good. Well, does that disqualify it? I don't think it does. I don't think it does because, like I said, someone out there thinks it's good. Not everyone can think it's bad because the person who made it thinks it's good. And I know what you're going to say. What if they made it ironically and it's supposed to be bad? Well, they thought it was good enough to be bad enough to post, to share, to play on the radio. They thought it was bad enough that it was good for their situation. And that is another thing of perspective. It's just weird to think that these people out there have these completely different thoughts than me. Because I don't know what a different thought is. Because it's impossible for me to understand how someone else thinks. Really, it is. A psychiatrist wants to understand how you think. They want to know how you think they can help you. They want to know how you think, but they can never understand how you think. You can explain to them all you want. They can do any study they want. But unless their brain is the exact same as yours, you will never think the same. And maybe someone out there, I'm kidding myself. I'm making myself a fool to my own rules. And statistically, someone out there can explain exactly how they think to someone perfectly. Maybe. That probably is a thing. But does the other person know how they think? They can explain it as well as they want, but the other person's brain, someone out there, no one's the exact same. But what if I told you that someone is the exact same as you? And what you're going to say? Well, you just meant to pass like 20 minutes and 40 seconds talking exactly about how everyone's so different and unique. Yeah, but what if that makes us the same? Being unique is the same. We're all the same because we're all unique. And every single person is different. So that's a constant across all people. So all people are the same in the fact that they're different and unique and special and have their own thoughts and feelings. And you can count on a person to have their own thoughts and feelings no matter what. Sure, someone can be indoctrinated for 40 years into a cult and never believe anything else. But you know what? If they're allergic to peanuts, they don't like peanuts. That's their own thoughts and feelings. They're still themselves. But is being allergic to peanuts what makes them them? What makes them? Is it the brainwaves? If I replicated someone's brainwaves and everything exactly, would I have a copy of them? Their genetic makeup is so unique and special that the odds of someone being an exact copy just by random chance of reproduction, like you and your brother having the exact same genes, down to the wire, is so astronomically impossible that it might never happen. Might never happen. It could happen. And you know what? The universe is also infinitely big. So someone out there, way out there, like I'm talking farther than your brain is able to comprehend the fact that it doesn't matter, because you'll never know. But someone out there could have been born with the exact same genetic makeup as you. Statistically, if the universe is infinite, we cannot rule out the fact that there is an exact genetic clone of you out there, just by mere roll of the dice. Maybe even throughout history it's happened. And then they died, and no one remembered, because it wasn't important until you were born with the exact same gene system, and then it became important. But you know what? We're never going to know that. The odds of them finding each other, getting genetic testing, and them being the exact same on our planet is never going to happen. But you can't rule out the fact that it did happen, that someone was born exactly like you. Same hair, same everything. But they're not you. Twins are not the same, and they have the exact same genes if they're a certain type of twin. So what makes them them? Their experiences. I know this is the old topical, if we took Hitler from the past and we raised him in the future, would he really be Hitler? Maybe he had an anger issue, and yeah, he's always going to become a giant dictator. He had a strive for power, he had a narcissistic drive in him, he was an egotistical maniac, and he wants power no matter what, no matter if he was raised by a German family, a white suburban American family whose dad bought Hitler a Lexus. I know where this is sound like it's going, but we're going to wrap back around because we're kind of getting off track, and we're going to go back to the point of we don't know if Hitler would be the same if he was raised in today's standards by a white suburban American Pennsylvanian family. What we do know is what he's done, which was really bad. So, could we make him do good? Well, that comes back to the brain, which is unique based off your experiences. And you can never have the exact same experiences as someone else because you can never occupy the same space as someone else. So, you're never going to be an exact copy of someone. Even if you meet someone with the exact genetic makeup as you, they are not you, because they don't have the same experiences. And I know what you're going to say. Well, let's go back to the beginning when you were talking about forgetting what we were talking about. Yeah, I did forget what I was going to talk about. So what happened to that memory? what happened to it? Where did it go? Can I find it? And if I can, well then, can I replicate it? Can I replicate the same brainwaves I'm having onto someone else's brain and make them think something? Probably not, and that's probably been a theory somewhere, but it's probably like some weird USSR experiment. Uh, but like, what makes you think that? Obviously, the way your brain is wired is how you're going to perceive things, which goes back to, perspective. So, yes, say someone has the same genetic makeup as you, all right? You and your little oddly coincidental twin meet up and you both watch a play at the same you both just sit down next to each other and watch the same production. All right? One person could be such a narcissist that he's like, "Oh, it could have been better." And then another person could see that it's just your nephew's play and he's in 5th grade. He did as good as he could. The kid's like what? The kid's like 10. He tried. That's all that counts. He was playing Peter Pan, all right? It's not like we were doing, we weren't doing real high scale production here. But you know what? It couldn't matter to this other dude, your clone, because to him, like, everything has to be perfect. Because he could be raised in a sloppy household where everything was terrible, and now he's like, you know what? I don't want to be raised like that because it brings me back to when mom and dad were fighting, and so he's a perfectionist about everything. Why would he be perfectionist about everything? Why wouldn't he just be a neat freak? Because he's also paranoid a lot. So now you're just snowballing. He's just snowballing. But you know what? That never happened to you. Why would it? You had a great childhood. If it never happened to you, then what's the point of this whole debate? And the point is that, yeah, you're unique. Because like we go back to what I said, everyone's unique, and that's a constant across everyone. It's nothing personal, except it kind of is, because you're predetermined to act a certain way just based off the fact of human nature. And you know what? Some people have these, they have control over these human nature. But you know what? A couple things real quick about human nature: fight or flight. Yeah, everyone has that hardwired into them, But this comes back to you being unique, where you have a choice still, because humans are all about that free will thing. You have a fight or flight choice, but fight or flight is your only choice, and it's your natural choice. Now, you could be like some trained professional where you always fight. Yeah, I'm like some karate bro. I'm some karate dude. Name's Tyrone Alahe, and I am a Hawaiian native, and I'm a karate master, and I fight karate my entire life. I've been doing it, and every time I get in a fight or flight situation, I'm like, bro, I'm hardwired to fight this dude. Okay. Now, was that your choice, though? Did you choose to fight him? Or was it just a habit that you just had to fight this dude? You had to fight this dude because you're a warrior. You're a warrior by nature, and it's natural. You're an animal, and you're a monster, and you can't control your urges around your wife anymore because she's trying to take the kids back to the mainland, but you like it better in Hawaii because you're more secluded. So what do? Well, you're being robbed right now, and this guy thinks he's about to take you out. Whenever you have to get this milk back to your newborn daughter, and you're Tyrone Alahe, the karate master, and your brain's first thing is to fight. Was that your choice? Did you choose to fight? Or was your brain just wired that way because of how you've grown up, how you reacted, how you raised yourself by making yourself a karate master? Was that your choice? Was that free will? Did free will make you fight? Or did your instincts, your animalistic instincts, do you even have control over those? Probably not. So do you even have the free will to make your own choice against that? I'll tell you what, I don't like coleslaw. And, where I'm from, that's like a capital sin. Oh no, I don't like coleslaw. Yeah, it just reminds me of the German invasion. so I try not to think about it. But like at the same time, I think I want to like it. I want to go to these restaurants where they just give it to me because it's just a common thing and I want to eat it. But I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not an acquired taste. I just don't like it. Is that my choice? Did I choose not to like it? Do I choose what music to like? If I play a song never heard before and I go, oh yes, it's pretty good. What made me like that song? My brain, how I'm wired, my genes. It's in my genes. It's how my brain is that I just like this song. Now I could listen to a song a bunch, and then one time I listen to it and I think back to some happy memory, and now I'm like, oh, every time I listen to the song, I think of like summer 2042, whenever I saw some meteor shower with my like probably fourth wife or something. And now every time I listen to a song, I like it because it brings me to a happy memory. Okay, that's an explanation, but I can't explain how sometimes I could just put on a song, a certain song, and I'll just sit there and I'll just go, yeah, this is pretty good. Because I don't know what made me like that. I really don't. I really don't. But I do. And there's nothing I can do to change that fact. Because that's just who I am. And I can't control that. So, is that free will? Well, let's think about this. Does it even matter? Does that matter to your free will? Because your free what is your free will? What is free will? Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, you're hearing my massive keyboard I have because I'm kind of like a pro gamer if I'm trying to make sense of it all. So Google's telling me that free will is the power of acting without the constraint of necessity of fate or the ability to act on one's own discretion. That sounds cool. So I have necessity of the power of acting without the constraint of necessity. So the power to act without the constraint of necessity or fate. What is that? It's what some people think. It's predetermined. Everything's predetermined. It's fate. It's going to happen, and the choices you make, you're always going to make. And like it goes back to saying what I said earlier about To Kill a Mockingbird, we never know what happens if someone doesn't read that because we don't know what we don't know. And what we don't know won't harm us. That's not funny. Because what you don't know will harm you. Ever heard of the Red Menace? So basically, we're trying to get down to the fact of, do I have a free will, and what is the point of this whole 32 minutes and 55-second conversation? Well, I'll tell you what it is. The whole point is that your free will matters, and you have it, but you also have yourself. And you always have yourself. And you always, I'm not a medical professional, I keep having to say this, so just take this with a grain of salt. Say I'm allergic to strawberries my whole life. That is me. I'm allergic to strawberries. Yeah, it's what people are going to know me as, haha. No strawberry Teddy. I work in business. Wendy's, manager. It's hard making strawberry milkshakes. Get on my skin and get a bunch of hives. I didn't choose that, but that's me. And you gotta accept that. Because that's not going to change. You can't change that. But you can change some stuff. Yeah, I mean, I can change what I look like. I can change what I sound like, what I smell like. You could probably change what you taste like. And you can change your hearing. That's a thing. We live in the modern day. Keeping that ambiguous. Yeah, this is the modern day. You know, people can hear if they couldn't when they first could. Maybe they can hear better now. Maybe they can hear worse. They can hear worse because they were in a war. They can hear worse now. But it's changed. But it doesn't change who they are. Because that's all in their brain. And that's unique. And that's all you have, really, is your uniqueness. But we all have it. But that doesn't change the perspective of is it special? Because it's very special. And you might be having some existential crisis right now, thinking like, oh no, dude, this guy just talked about a bunch of crazy, like, philosophy stuff for like 32 minutes and thinks he's like really smart now. And I don't. I'm actually still really nervous to be talking to a computer screen. And I have said multiple times I don't actually know any of this stuff. Yeah, but I need to tell someone. And if you're listening, lucky you. All right, yeah. Bet you feel real happy right now. So, what is the whole point of this? The whole point is that sometimes you gotta talk, whether it be to your computer screen or what. Not, sometimes people listen, but sometimes they don't. But you know what? You know who's always listening is yourself. Because you are your greatest ally and your greatest enemy. You can't let that get to you. Because if you lose yourself in the music and in the moment, you know what comes next, guys. I don't really have to finish this. It's kind of a classic. Come on. Yeah. Anyway, you only get one shot, so do what you can. You only get one brain, too, so you only get one personality. Now, when you're going to say, oh, my friend, Jimmy, construction, didn't have a hard hat. He hit his head. He's a whole different person now. Yeah, that's cool, because his brain's probably a different shape now. You ever think about that one, Karen? No, you didn't. So, don't really assume stuff. Makes you kind of look ignorant. Also, don't take anything you say serious. It's just a legal thing. Don't take anything I said serious. I'm not a medical professional. Nothing I say should be taken with any full heart truth. Nothing should be taken in a court of law. Nothing I say should be taken out of context too, but the context shall remain anonymous and ambiguous to my discretion. And I really can't think of anything else to talk about. Okay, I can, but nothing relating to the topic. Because I don't want the first like 37 minutes to just be like, oh yeah, he's talking about like philosophy or something stupid and he's just rambling. And then the next like 24 and a half minutes to be me talking about like the Super Bowl or something. Because like, you have to gauge an audience. You have to gauge an audience because people are people. And like I said, they're all unique. That's a common thing. So you have to play that to your advantage if you're going to entice people. Because you can't entice everyone. So I go back to the thing about customers being finite. Yeah. If I am a Lego salesman and I sell Lego toys, I can tell you, some people are never going to buy Legos. So why even waste my time? It's called marketing. It's called a focus group, and it's called a study. And you do one of those, find out who your best target for Legos is, and you only sell to them, right? It's called stereotyping. And you know what? They're pretty effective. But that doesn't mean they're definitive. Because, like I said, we go back to the only definitive thing is that everyone is different. So, just think about that.